AVANI ABILASH. I'm studying in 8th standard on St. Michael's Girls High Secondary School, West Hill. Today, I'm here to say something about the planet Mars. Is there life in Mars? It has been a long time since the scientific world started investigation on this. NASA has released that the signs of life have been found in the oldest water bodies on Mars. In this content, let's know more about the Mars mission taken place so far. Life is born and grown not only on Earth. The latest example is that NASA released the news that there were life on Mars. There can be still life. Microscopically, Mars has the most favorable conditions for life in solar system after Earth. That's why it's important for Mars exploration. If we can find any form of life or remnants from Mars, we will get a new definition of possibility of life in the universe. Mars has very similar conditions to Earth. Martian soil is similar to Earth soil. Scientists have discovered that some of the plants growing in Earth can also grow on Mars. And also, they discovered that it can be grown in the future. There is also a plan to send humans to Mars. NASA, European Space Agency, Japan Space Agency, Chinese Space Agency are taking off the help of humans to Mars. But the distance of Mars is very barrier to these journeys. Man's visit to Mars will take place after 2030. NASA's Curiosity, Spirit, Opportunity and Mars Recognized Orbit probes are conducting studies on Mars. India's Mangalyaan probe was the first Mars mission of ISRO. Friends, now let's know a few things about the planet Mars. Mars is the fourth largest planet in the solar system in terms of distance from the Sun. The average distance of the planet from the Sun is 28.8 million kilometers. Coming closer to Earth, Mars will be 7.8 crore away. Mars has a very early atmosphere. Due to the small size of the planet and its weak gravitational pull, Mars is unable to hold inward gases due to the lack of magnetic field similar to that of Earth. Evidence has already been found that the once dense atmosphere has been allowed. When it completely melts, the planet will be filled with water to a depth of 11 meters. Friends, now let's know about our planet and Mars. Earth and Mars. At 6,878 kilometers in diameter, Mars is the half that size of Earth and 11%. Mars holds 13% of the Earth's gravitational pull for hours and 39 minutes. Mars rotation time is less than a day, which is only minutes longer than an Earth day. Mars completes its orbit around the Sun in 687 Earth days. A Martian year is 322 days longer than an Earth year. The average of the planet is 55 degrees Celsius. But the difference in the temperature on the planet is huge. While the temperature in the equatorial region rises to 80 degrees Celsius, it falls to 98 degrees Celsius in the polar region. Mars' core is made of iron like Earth's. The planet Mars is rich in mantle, cast, and silicate rocks and minerals. Now let's know about the explorations on Mars. Explorations of Mars has a centuries-old tradition with the advent of telescope in 1600s. Advances in technology have paved the way for explorations of telescope using satellites. But the interplanetary travel is very complicated. Even the most advanced artificial satellites need at least 8 months to reach Mars. Two-thirds of all Mars exploration missions so far have failed. Friends, do you know who started the first exploration on Mars? It was the Soviet Union. They started exploring Mars on 1960. The Soviet Union began exploring Mars on October 1960 by the launch of twin satellites, Curable 4 and Curable 5. This too was failure. The Soviet Union carried out a number of successful Mars missions until the late 1970s. Friends, have you heard about US? Yes, the United States. They had also a big part in Mars missions. Their Mars missions began with the arrival of Mariner Mars mission. United States also announced their presence on Mars with the launch of Mariner 3 and Mariner 4. Of this, Mariner 3 was a failure and Mariner 4 was a victorious. Mariner 4, which is launched on November 28, 1964 and reached Mars on July 14, 1965 after a 7.5-month journey. Soil is alkaline in nature and contains the minerals magnesium, sodium, and potassium, which is essential for life. Scientists have discovered that Martian soil is suitable for the growing of plants such as rice, potato, and peas. The Martian soil is midly atmospheric and liquid water cannot exist on the Martian surface except for a short time in the lowest parts. However, it has been recognized that ice cover found in the polar is the same as that of water. In 1969, Mariner 6 and Mariner 7 launched. In 1971, Mariner 9 launched and entered the Mars orbit and have the honor that the first probe to reach Mars orbit. Mariner 9 was also able to take the pictures of Phobos and Deimos, natural moons of the Mars. Mariner 9 also took the picture of the highest volcano in solar system, Olympus Mons. United States have a probe launching place, which is that? Yes, it's NASA. NASA is working in search of life on Mars. NASA started Viking missions on 1975. Viking 1 and Viking 2 probes launched on Mars at 1975 and got the honor of being the first probes landing on Mars. It was these probes that first brought the science of water courses on Mars to the world. Later, Mars missions that made headlines was NASA's Mars Pathfinder, which landed on Mars on July 4, 1997. Mars rover also accumulated with this probe. NASA named this Robotina-Sita vehicle as Sojourner Pathfinder, which had conducted many experiments on Mars, successfully tested airbag landing system for the future Mars mission. The Curiosity, which is currently conducting experiments on Mars, had landed on Mars with the same tech. The Mars Surveyor mission also provided the first clear picture of the presence of water in the polar region of Mars. In 2001, NASA's Odyssey mission launched. The aim of this mission was to find the evidence of presence of water on Mars. In 2002, combining satellites such as gamma ray spectrometer and neutron spectrometer, which were installed on the probe, detected the presence of large amount of hydrogen on the planet Mars. This discovery was known as neutron spectrography, which discovered water present recently on Mercury. Is there really water on Mars? I know that you all have that doubt. On June 2003, the European Space Agency's Mars Express launched. We method, accompanied with this probe, drilled into the planet's surface and conducted experiments. This was done to ensure the planet's presence of water in the polar region. Mars Recognized Orbiter (MRO) multi-purpose probe was launched by NASA on August 1, 2000. On March 10, 2006, this probe launched. The purpose of this launch was to study the presence of water, mineralogy, climate and atmospheric structure, and to search of a landing site for the future Mars missions. NASA launched their twin spacecraft Spirit and Opportunity at January 2004. Until 2010, Spirit collected information about Mars and sent to Earth. The Phobos probe was launched by Russia on 2011 November 8. China's Ning mission was a failure. Curiosity Mars Science Labs rover launched on November 26, 2011, landed on the Mars on August 6, 2012. The aim of this project was to find the sign of life on this planet. Later, India's Mangalyaan mission was successful. Scientists have discovered that there are many possibilities of life on Mars. Let's look which only planets with liquid water on the surface can provide the conditions to grow and sustain life. The habitable zone around the Sun is estimated to be between the Sun and the semi major axis of Mars. Mars enters this region when it is subsolar, but thin, low pressure atmosphere does not support liquid water in the large quantities for long. The fact that the planet was flooded in the past gives the possibility that the planet could have supported life. The absence of magnetosphere and a thin atmosphere have caused many disturbances, indicating that even if water existed at all on the surface of the planet, it would be too salinity and acidity too harmful to life. Only very little water exchange take place on the planet's surface. A very small planet is protected from the impact of solar wind. Low atmospheric pressure does not help water to remain in the liquid form. Instead, water is in gaseous state. Also, Mars is not geologically active due to the cessation of volcanic activity. There is no exchange of minerals between the Earth's crust and the surface. Evidence suggests that the planet was habitable in the past. However, it is not clear that there were ever living organisms on the planet. The Viking probes launched in the mid 1970s carried instruments to detect the presence of organic forms in the soil of their landing sites. In the presence of water and nutrients, carbon dioxide increased and received promising results. There has been great debate as to whether this is possible for life. When we realized the 40-year-old Viking data based on the modern knowledge of organisms living in extreme adverse conditions, it was possible to understand that the tools were not only used to accurately detect such life forms. Sometimes lives are lost in the process of discovery. Experiments conducted by the Phoenix Mars lander have shown that the soil is more alkaline and Mangalyaan, India's Mars mission. ISRO's first interplanetary mission was Mangalyaan. Mangalyaan launched on November 5, 2030 and landed on Mars orbit at September 24, 2014. Mangalyaan is not just a rover for ISRO to study Martian atmosphere, but it is also a technological test for the human interplanetary travel in the future. With the success of Mangalyaan, India became the fourth country to successfully complete an interplanetary mission. Before this, only the United States, Russia, and European Union have achieved this feat. The Mars Orbit mission begins with a feasibility study in 2010. Out of the total project cost of 454 crore, rupees 125 crore was used for initial studies and rupees 153 crore for satellite construction. Since the Earth and Mars orbits the Sun at different speeds, the launch occurs when these planets are closer to each other. The arrangement happens once in 780 days. Mangalyaan has many features in the Mars exploration mission. Mangalyaan has the distinction of being the first successful Mars mission, the first successful Asian Mars mission, the lowest cost Mars mission, and the shortest Mars mission. Mainly, five scientific instruments are used in Mangalyaan. The Lehman Alpha photometer to measure hydrogen and deuterium levels in the upper layers of the Martian atmosphere, the Mars color camera to observe the characteristics, chemical composition, and weather of Martian surface, the methane sensor for Mars to measure the amount of methane vapor in the atmosphere and map its epicenters, and to study the characteristics of the surface atmosphere. The main scientific instruments on board the probe are
the Mars exospheric neutral composition analyzer, and the thermal infrared imaging camera to measure Martian thermal radiation and to understand the composition and distribution of minerals on the surface. Mangalyaaan's launch weight is 1,337 kg, including 25 rockets and first stage fuel. Mangalayaan's journey was in three stages. PSLV XLC-25. The rocket entered the probe's first stage into a temporary orbit. In the third phase, the probe was placed in the orbit of Mars. Mangalyaan, which entered Mars orbit on September 24, 2040, is still operational. Several Mars images are being sent back to Earth by the probe.
Future. Now let's discuss about NASA's Curiosity. NASA's Science Laboratory rover Curiosity has announced that they found traces of microbes from the remains of ancient water on Mars. There is an analysis for the information found by a rover. There are still hundreds to find a scientific conclusion. NASA's probes have been stirring up Martian soil. Water and life existed and still existed beneath the Martian soil. Scientists believe that it will happen. If any form of life can be found on Mars, it will be a great achievement for scientific world. Many questions such as whether microorganisms and compounds still exist or why not are remain to be answered. We can still wait and hope for the convenience missions to conquer space. So now I'm stopping my presentation here. Thank you and have a nice day.